Hello guys, welcome to my review for The Lion King 2019, another live-action Disney remake. I'm getting quite bored of these now, but this one is directed by Jon Favreau, who also directed the live-action version of The Jungle Book, which I thought was really good. That made me feel like we actually need the live-action of The Jungle Book, and I've never really think we ever needed a live-action version of The Lion King. I've never think that was necessary. The original was good enough. But here we are, and I was hoping that Jon Favreau would give us a direction that makes us need a live-action version of The Lion King besides just looking more realistic, and basically that's what this movie's job is. It's a photorealistic CGI remake of the original, and yes, when I say shot for shot, this movie, yes, is shot for shot remade. There are some elements they change, there's some elements they add. This one is a lot longer than the original, this one's about 2 hours. They do add quite a lot of extra sequences, especially of just like long takes of wildlife and stuff like that were never in the original. And they definitely take some stuff out. They take out certain lines of dialogue and stuff like that. So it definitely is a little bit different. I think if they were going to go for a full shot-for-shot remake, they should have gone for full shot-for-shot. But it is definitely a shot-for-shot remake. Like from everything down to each single cut is exactly the same as the original. So to be honest, for what they were going for in that aspect, in making this movie look more realistic, I think they actually did a really good job. I think the CGI here is amazing. Like, it looks realistic. There's some moments where I'm like, oh yeah, that looks very noticeable, very ishy. But, you know, like, the entire movie is CGI, and the majority part, this looks really real. It is fantastic what technology can do these days, especially in these movies, and it is honestly mind-boggling how they do this. It looks gorgeous, but there never was once in the film where I actually started to get into the movie, because I just love the original, and you know that there's something about that animated style that cannot be recreated, that cannot recreate the story as much or recreate the characters in the same sort of way. Due to the emotion you can put in the faces and stuff like that, all the stuff you can do with animation that you can't really do with this. So this movie does suffer a little bit from that, but for what this movie was going for in terms of the realistic vibe, it looks gorgeous. Like, but there was never a moment in the film where I was like, that's not CGI, that is real. Like, all the movie I was like, that's really great CGI, but I never found myself invested like I was with the original, because this movie just is very bland. And it's not bad bland, it's aiming to be bland. It's aiming to be a shot-for-shot remake. And for that, I think it does a really good job. A great job, even. But I must say that, yeah, it is bland. It is a bit boring. Because, you know, it's cool to see it in this new light. And the majority of people that go to see this movie are going to be like, okay, I want to see The Lion King again, just looking more realistic. And I think majority of people will really have a good time with this movie, because it literally just is that. But I can't praise this movie. The same thing I've had with all these other live-action Disney remakes is that, the same thing with any remake, is that I can't praise this movie for anything the original does amazing. I can't praise this movie for the amazing music, because it's the same. I can't praise this movie for the well-written characters. It's the same. I can't praise this movie for the script, because it's the same. I can't praise this movie for anything that the original does great, because it's just a copy of the original. But again, it's supposed to, so it's like, well, yeah. But to be honest, I thought this movie was good. I thought it did a good job at doing what it needed to do to make this live-action thing work. Some of the voice casting was amazing. Of course, you still got James Earl Jones back as Mufasa. I think he did a great job again. And Donald Glover as Simba, great job. But definitely the standout here, the thing I actually think was one thing improved from the original, is Timon and Pumbaa. I love those characters in the original, and they are really funny here. Seth Rogen's voice as Pumbaa, perfection, amazing. Every scene with them is hilarious. Their songs, just, yeah, perfect in this movie. And again, they look realistic, and it's amazing what they can do. To even like the simple little hairs on like the side of the lion's face, just phenomenal stuff. It's amazing CGI work. But sometimes, in the darker scenes, like at the nighttime scenes, the CGI sort of wears away a bit. It doesn't look as realistic, it doesn't look as interesting. It looks very bland in those scenes, because it is just CGI and then it's just dark. But every scene in the day I thought was gorgeous to look at, really good. There's some really nice extended shots of wildlife going around that weren't in the original. And it's really, really good. The humor is still there, the characters are still there, the story is still there. But again, I can't praise this movie for those things, because they didn't create those things. But it's not trying to. It's trying to be photorealistic version of The Lion King. And for that, I think it does a good job. But I do have a few little issues with the movie. A few little things above me, nothing too big though. The music, I love Elton John's music in the original. But here, I didn't really like these new versions of these songs. I just wish they get with the original Elton John versions. But again, that's a tiny little nitpick. Like, I expected them to change the music, but it's the same song, it's just sung by a different person. I just prefer the Elton John versions. But that's like a very minute thing. And another thing is, some of the voice acting in this one isn't as good as the original. Like, Jeremy Irons as Scar in the original 94 version is phenomenal, and I don't think this version of Scar was anywhere near compelling as the original version. But again, these are like little things that I'm complaining about. I really liked this movie. I thought it did a good job for what it was going for. And yeah, you can call it bland and boring, and why the hell would you ever want to watch this one over the original? I'm never going to watch this again. But again, the majority of people that see this, and what I was looking for, I just wanted to see The Lion King look a bit more realistic. Sometimes it definitely is a lot weaker than what I expected, but sometimes it does have some stronger elements as well. But again, it's exactly what I expected, and I'm fine with that. Is it bland? Yes. But is it doing its job well? Yeah. Was it unneeded? Was it unnecessary? Yes. I don't think this was needed, but again, they made it, and they did a decent job. I'm going to give The Lion King remake a B. And a 7 out of 10. I thought they did a good job with this movie. Not a great job though, nowhere near as good as the original. But still, comment down below your opinions on the new Lion King if you did see it. And of course, thanks for watching, and goodbye.